Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 57, Lamar.
We are at the Steampunk Show to see why people love and admire steampunk.
What do you love about steampunk?
It's all about the costuming.
And with steampunk, you can be really creative. It can be airship, it can be western, it can be whatever you want it to be.
With steampunk, more is more, not less is more. So we like that too.
Yeah.
More is more.
What got you into steampunk? What do you like about it?
It's the whole culture, the whole fashion, good people.
What got you into steampunk?
I was a musician for quite a while and took a lot of time off. And when I started back writing again, I found myself pulling some old pieces that I had that were unused, repurposing them, and it felt like that allegory, what my life was, needed to be turned into the literal sense of what steampunk is, because it's always about repurposing something older and making it new and futuristic.
So what got you into steampunk?
I am actually a pickpocket.
Oh.
I steal watches right off guys' wrists. That's why you don't see guys with watches anymore. And then I make jewelry out of it.
Awesome. What's your favorite thing about steampunk?
I would have to say probably all the different costumes that I see when we do the steampunk shows, just seeing everybody's creativity. So I think that's a lot of fun.
What do you love about steampunk?
Making funky junk.
Making junk. Weird, fun, pretty.
We call it steampunk.
It's steampunk, not steampunk.
What got you into steampunk?
Oh wow, steampunk. Steampunk has been just something I've always enjoyed. I've always really enjoyed the influence of H.G. Wells and Jules Verne over the many years. If you really want to go back as far as the Disney days of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which unfortunately is no more. It's just something I've always enjoyed, the Victorian style of clothing with the influence of the mechanical repurposing of things. So yeah, I guess in a sense, and who doesn't always love a great fitting corset?
So what do you love about steampunk?
Wow, that's a really long and involved question. I absolutely love steampunk just because it takes so much different aesthetics all in one. So you could just do diesel punk, you can do Victorian steampunk, you could do futuristic steampunk, and anything goes, and people just have a lot of fun with it. So it's just everyone's welcome aesthetic.
Well, Lamar, we went to the Steampunk Festival. We learned about steampunk. So we're going to review a steampunk-themed movie.
Yes.
Mutant Chronicles.
Yes, 2008. A lot of heavy hitters in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Jane, Ron Perlman, and John Malkovich.
The thing about this movie, like the premise is based off of a role-playing game.
Yes.
Which sounds kind of cool. Like, so basically, 10,000 years ago, a machine comes, and it has the ability to turn men into, like, killer mutants, bloodthirsty mutants. Like a group was able to, take that out. What did they put it underground so it couldn't hurt anybody again? Now you flash forward, the world is still kind of like in disarray. There's 4 factions.
Yeah,
at war.
Private military thing going on. Yes.
Long story short, the thing becomes active again. There's mutants. And these guys basically have to, like, a group of almost mercenaries, but they're led by, like, a priest. They have to go on a suicide mission, basically, to stop this thing from working.
It sounds like another very famous story. A group of men or women that come together to go on a journey to stop some evil. Man, does this movie have, like, little people in it or anything like that? do you have Gandalf anywhere? Sounds a lot like Lord of the Rings, don't you think? Yeah.
Little bit.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Lamar, about this movie?
I want to see I actually enjoyed this movie as a B movie.
Okay.
I mean, we have to also talk about, like, the green screen.
Yes.
Because it's shot a lot on green screen.
Right. Now, and we mentioned Sin City, and at the same time, like, Sin City had come out, and the 300 had come out. And this has that vibe. Now, was this stylistic green screen or was this awful green screen? Is my question.
I'm going to say this. It's a combination of both.
Okay.
Which I will accept because, like, I think it was stylistic in the steampunk aspect. It's like a dark world and stuff like that. But this steampunk kind of green screen looking universe is like really dark.
Yeah.
So I feel like they did that to kind of hide the bad green screen.
Right.
Which I understand. But it's like when you compare it to like 300 and like definitely Sin City, it's not up to par, but it's passable.
What was awful was the blood splatters were awful. Any kind of gore, blood splatters, people getting stabbed, that was all awful. But this kind of stylized look, I did like.
I will say yes, and that's the crappy part because it almost looked like those were stock. They had to cut the corners on that.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, for who you had in the movie, the acting was not. It was a little like everyone was just kind of there and they weren't trying their hardest. You know, that's what got me the most with this movie. I was like, nobody looks like they care.
I will say this. I feel like John Malkovich's character, his acting, I think they maybe wrote in that he was dying just because he probably was just like, I'm not doing anymore this movie. So I understand that part. Yes, the performances weren't as great because I feel like they knew what this was.
Yeah. No one really cared that much or something. I don't know. There's something about it that just didn't resonate with me.
Not everybody can act with green screen. Like you have to like, I think it's true. Like, it's like a marriage between, of course, like any movie, a marriage between the directors and the actors. The actors have to like have that imagination. This movie is kind of like, there's a zombie over there.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I like the premise, but the way they executed the plot, like, I was like, I didn't really care about the characters or their journey. I don't know. There's something about it. This movie didn't resonate with me.
See, I feel like that's part of its charm. Like it's not like the greatest movie ever. I feel like it's a good B movie.
Okay.
Because it has those elements of like some of the overacting or underacting, if you want to say. The kind of the shoddy green screen. So I enjoyed it for what it was. Now, the zombies. Kind of a lazy design.
Yeah.
Once again, I understand because basically they didn't have the budget. They're bald-headed guys with spikes.
So when you compare it to, you know, when we reviewed Transmorphers, it's got a similar vibe to it. Like
really,
but Transformers is so goofy that I'm entertained. This was like it's B movie, but it's trying to be good too much, and it just comes across bland. This movie was bland to me.
So you feel like they should have like just went all out,
just go crazy.
And see, that's what I feel like they did that because like Thomas James performance, put that motherfucker in there. That's what I feel like. He was just like, okay, I'm that guy. It's not like really a character. It's more of like a stereotype, like a stock character guy. That's why I enjoyed it.
I thought they should have went more.
But you think they should have went like
full
not
on.
Just like, hey, motherfucker. So he should have been that way.
With everything, the whole premise, like it wasn't outrageous enough to be fun, and it wasn't quality enough to be like a good movie. So to me, it was like in this in-between area where it was just bland.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe it caught me in the wrong mood.
I look at it as a good B movie.
Okay.
Like I would want to see more of this.
Oh wow, I wouldn't want to see it anymore.
You wouldn't want to see you like fuck this movie, no.
Not like this. I mean, if someone, because I like the premise, and apparently the game is supposed to be pretty fun. Yeah. Like if someone took the premise and made a whole nother movie, I would be like, I'd be up for that. But I wouldn't want to see this movie redone again or a sequel to this. No.
Not even like in B movie world. Not even like.
Not unless they're gonna go nuts with it. So
so the sequel has to go like crazy. Like you gotta have
crazy.
the zombies like having spikes everywhere.
Yeah, they got to be a lot better zombies.
Yes.
Or
okay.
Mutants or whatever. What would you rate it then out of 5?
I gave it a 4.
4 out of 5. Wow.
Yes, I liked it. What did you give it, Joe?
I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5.
What?
It's in that bland area for me. It just didn't hit the mark.
Wow.
I really felt like it could have been cool though. There was elements of it that I thought would have been cool, but I don't know. It didn't strike with me.
Wow, this is interesting because I enjoyed it. I was like, it's a decent B movie. It's good, but you're just like, no.
If it's not going to be good, then you got to go nuts. That's what I say.
I agree with that sentiment. That's why another mutant movie that I love so much, Mutant Blast.
Mutant Blast was
great. That's why I love Mutant Blast, because it goes insane.
Yes, Mutant Blast is a great B movie.
What if they lightened up the tone?
I think you can go either way with this movie. I think you can make this into a really good epic, or you can make it into a crazy, schlocky, just insane B movie. But they were right in the middle.
Interesting. I like this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, oh man.
It's like Mr. Miyagi once said, Lamar, with this movie: if you walk on this side of the road, you're safe. If you walk on this side of the road, you're also safe. But if you walk in the middle, you get squished like a grape. And that's where this movie is. It's not goofy B movie. It's not a good serious movie. It's somewhere in the middle where I just don't like it. It got squashed like a grape.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say about it, Lamar. Other than we had a very fun-filled steampunk week. We learned a lot. We had a lot of cool interviews with people and everything. We appreciate everyone for stopping, talking to us at the Steampunk Festival.
Yes.
And, Mutant Chronicles.
I like how you said that. Great time at the Steampunk Show. Mutant Chronicles.
Yeah. So that wraps this one up, I guess. Peace.
Oopsies.